What if I told you that a new discovery, made in 2025, beneath one of the holiest places on Earth, has just shaken the archaeological world, and may confirm a detail in the Gospels that scholars have debated for centuries? Because beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, researchers dug into the earth and found something no one expected. They expected stone. They expected plaster. They expected ancient walls. But what they found was light, tiny particles, microscopic remains, seeds, pollen. These belong to olive trees. And grapevines, plants from ancient gardens, 2,000 years old. This wasn't just dirt, it was a snapshot of history. For decades, archaeologists and theologians have analyzed the Gospel of John, chapter 19 verse 41, which says, "At the place where Jesus was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden a new tomb, in which no one had ever been laid." A garden? At Golgotha, the place of the skull? It seemed out of place. Many thought it was symbolic language, not a literal description. But these microscopic finds, the ancient pollen, the remnants of olive and grape cultivation, provide the first tangible, scientific evidence that this area, long believed to be a barren rock quarry, was also a place of cultivation. A garden. It's a discovery that forces us to re-examine everything we thought we knew about that fateful day. If the garden was real, what else have we misunderstood about the day Jesus was crucified? The location of his final moments has been a source of devotion, debate, and even conflict for nearly 2 millennia. Let's look at the two main contenders. First, there's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This is the traditional site, venerated for over 1,600 years since it was identified by Emperor Constantine's mother, Helena, in the 4th century. Its location aligns with key descriptions in the Gospels. It was outside the city walls of 1st century Jerusalem, and archaeological work has confirmed the area was a former stone quarry with rock-cut tombs, consistent with the type used for Jewish burials at the time. The vast majority of scholars and archaeologists agree that this is the most plausible location for both the crucifixion and the burial of Jesus. Then, there's the Garden Tomb. Discovered in the 19th century, it's a beautiful, peaceful site with a garden and a nearby tomb. It appeals to many modern visitors because it feels more like what they imagine a garden tomb should look like. However, most archaeologists date this particular tomb to the Iron Age, centuries before the time of Jesus, making it historically unlikely to be the new tomb described in the Gospels. While it's a powerful place for reflection, the historical evidence points overwhelmingly toward the Holy Sepulchre. The new discovery of garden soil under the church only strengthens that case. But if we know the site, why is the path Jesus walked still debated? Millions of pilgrims walk a path called the Via Dolorosa, the Way of Sorrows, believing they are tracing the exact footsteps of Jesus. But what if this was not the original route? The famous path people walk today, with its 14 stations of the cross, was actually established by Franciscan monks in the medieval period, over 1,000 years after the life of Jesus. It was designed for pilgrims, a spiritual exercise. But the layout of Jerusalem in the 14th century was very different from the city in the 1st century. So where did he actually walk? To find the real path, we have to follow the archaeology, not just tradition. The journey began at his trial. The Gospels state this happened at the Praetorium, the official residence of the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. For a long time, this was believed to be the Antonia fortress, which is why the traditional Via Dolorosa starts there. However, modern archaeology strongly suggests the Praetorium was actually at Herod's palace, on the opposite, western side of the city. This changes the starting point entirely. From there, Jesus would have been led out of the city through a nearby gate to the place of execution. Here's what the archaeology agrees on. Jesus' trial site was near a Roman administrative center, likely Herod's palace. Golgotha, the execution site, was outside the city walls of that time. His tomb was nearby, in the same area. This area was a fascinating mix of land use, part active stone quarry, and now we know, part garden. The path itself wasn't a formal ceremonial route like today's Via Dolorosa. It was a standard Roman procession for a condemned man. A public display of Roman power designed to deter rebellion, leading from the seat of judgment to the place of execution. The new evidence helps us picture this more clearly, a journey ending not just at a place of death, but in a landscape where life gardens, olives, vines was still present. If we can't trace every single step, what can we know with absolute confidence? While the exact cobblestones may be lost to time, we're getting a clearer picture than ever before. We may not have the exact footsteps, but archaeology paints the world Jesus walked in. It gives us the texture, the sounds, the sights of first-century Jerusalem. We can know with confidence that his tomb was near the place of his crucifixion. We can know that this place was a former quarry, filled with tombs carved directly into the rock. And now, thanks to the stunning discovery in 2025, we can know it was also a garden. A place where life and death intersected in the most profound way. The science now confirms what the text has claimed for 2,000 years. The Gospel of John was right all along. It wasn't just a poetic detail, it was a geographical fact. So next time you picture Jesus carrying his cross, remember what the latest science and archaeology tell us. It wasn't just a barren, dusty hill. It was a place of rock, of tombs, but also of gardens and vineyards. A place where the sorrow of a crucifixion happened amidst the backdrop of life and cultivation. A place where prophecy became reality. If you want a full documentary breakdown of this incredible discovery and the evidence behind it, comment deep dive below. And make sure to subscribe to the Bible series online, where ancient truth comes alive. Thanks for watching.